NFL 23 on EA Sports. And today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Carolina Panthers, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Carolina Panthers. Welcome in, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. From the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
First carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
2 plays so far. Running in a pass attempt and both of them yards. They do that.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. Yards on the punt there. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. We see Carolina's offense getting set for their first possession here. And at quarterback, his 2nd season with the Panthers, Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here at the 34. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Right back to Hubbard. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And back deep, Gunnar Olszewski. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one on the money to Claypool downfield. 30, past the 20, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Darnold. And his pass, incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Olszewski now to return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Holding, offense.
He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Harris running straight ahead. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
They didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try to run and try to keep the defense honest.
You can also just sit back, don't need to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get the quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 37. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
They run again with Harris.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Holding offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nailed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to go down here and sacked. They push him back to the 34.
Jeremy Chin, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field. And that time he gets in there for the sack.
That's some real defensive resistance there. Saying not so fast to a good job. Then march to the end zone the last time.
Though certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here at their own 21. To throw is Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. Mark him down at the 39. The catch and run good for 18 and a 1st down.
Even against double coverage, he's got enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he's got room. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
I think they like this drive a little better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Darnold. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 41, Darnold. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Darnold now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. And he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
The Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Presley Harvin now. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here at their 36-yard line. They'll begin this series with a give to Hubbard. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Darnold. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
And they're able to work this across midfield for you.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. The slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. On 1st down, Darnold. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air again, Darnold. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And now out come the Steelers.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. That'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Back to throw here.
He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up a throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw again.
Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers.
A 9-yard touchdown there.
And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. That time a 6-play drive.
And in the end, it was Deontay Johnson's touchdown catch to cap the drive.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the 6. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
On first down, it's Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. To throw again on second down. Darnold over the middle, complete. It's Higgins.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Again, Darnold.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold.
He gets this one to Hubbard, complete.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on first and 10. Now it's Darnold. And this one is incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Darnold. This is Anderson over the middle. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt, and that is no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
I'd say that it's fair to say nothing has gone right in this first half for them. Even here, you've got a chance to at least get on the board, but that goes by the wayside. And now, this coaching staff, they've got to figure out some way to wake this team up at halftime to get them going.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. But the Panthers ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Wk Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. They juked him. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2nd and 1. That swung out wide to Harris.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 14. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's Harris. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
They'll set up to throw.
He's got his tight end Fryermuth over the middle.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Touchdown!
Najee Harris
From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was finished off by a Najee Harris touchdown.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here.
At their own 25-yard line.
Meanwhile, Darnold's throw caught by Higgins.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Darnold now to throw. That caught by Tremble. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On first down, Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit. Give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that that call now might get the fans back into this one.
Darnold from the red zone now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter from Charlotte.
To throw is Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Anderson.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Darnold. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and they get a little bit closer here
touchdowns. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Burns picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Back to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 16. Now back to throw. Setting up the screen, Harris. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing, and partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A first down throw, Darnold. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Kazin. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, and they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the 6. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Darnold and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 here at their own 21. Fresh off the pick six, it's Darnold. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Darnold to throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Here's Darnold. He's got the connection to Moore. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 56 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. Here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Here's Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw. And they're under 200 yards passing for the game. So they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Harris. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now here's another carry for Harris. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A give to Harris. 69 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.